Hey guys, it's a crazy cricket and video, and just back-to-back uploads. So I don't know what you guys owe this favor for. Just kidding. But like I said, it's become a tradition. So I think I'm pretty sure this is my fourth year or fifth. I think it's the fourth year I'm doing the New Year's thing where I picked the top 10 moments of the past gone decade. So we'll just jump straight into it. So my 10th moment, we generally do this backwards. So because kind of builds up to the final moment. Except this time around, I think everyone knows the big moments. So I could have just started at first, but it's always interesting to see what your 10 key moments are. And this one's very weird because no one actually latched onto it from what I saw. This is your Warner and Barristow thing. These guys just showed up. They broke almost every single opening record that was out there. I mean, the only iconic there only have been a couple of iconic opening partnerships in the IPL. One's been Gail Kohli, the other one's been Murali Vijay Maika Singh. And Murali Vijay Maika Singh were rarely ever consistent, and Gail Kohli were again rarely consistent. So these fellows just show up, and the minute Warner and Barrister were picked in the same team, most people were like, "This is not gonna work. This is a team that's got poor chemistry." Because if you do remember, last year there was something about how there was a pre-Ashes meeting. That was the Ashes where they went to Australia, and apparently something to do with Barrister headbutting Cameron Bancroft, and then Warner and Bancroft. They got into some huge. I would say they made it banter, but Barrister didn't come out of it looking too good. I think after that he's never been the same, at least in Test cricket. So this fellow comes up, and then these two just form such a good partnership. There is no miscommunication. These guys know that it's a tap to point. There has to be one. They're not playing dot balls. They came in with such a clear game plan. That was the only reason Sunrisers got through. So the key point here is, despite all the banters you have, not necessarily banters, bullying, you can always look past it. Once you guys people mature, you can always look past it. Too philosophical, but it was how it is. Next point was ninth moment is cricket returns to Pakistan. Again, not something very relatable for me because from the time I don't think I've watched. I think the first match I watched that ever took place in Pakistan was the World 11 versus Pakistan. Apart from that, I really haven't watched. And apparently Pakistan's not really that great of a place to watch because it's just damn bad batting tracks. I think every pitch in Pakistan is just like the Wonkede. It's just great for batting, swing through the line and whatnot. Maybe we'll get to see more Pakistan pitches where you can see all these fast bowlers develop. But if it's a dust bowl, then I think I would prefer the UAE because at least scores were in humongous. Excuse me for that. My 8th moment I have written down here is the Sri Lanka versus South Africa. When apparently no Asian team has ever won in South Africa, and Sri Lanka won it this year. And now this is a Sri Lankan team that can't even win at home. They didn't have anyone going into that series. And then if you had to predict two Asian teams toured South Africa before Sri Lanka. One was India, the other one was Pakistan. And these were the two major Asian powerhouses who you would expect to defeat South Africa. Pakistan have always got a very good bowling attack. Every time Pakistan go to South Africa, it's like Pakistan are gonna win. They don't win. And India this time around, when they went in, they got an Indian pitch that was slow. They messed it up and they won. And they won in the most dead batting. They won on the most harmful pitch in Johannesburg. That just shows the spirit, patriotism to play for the country. But would you expect Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka is a team that will get. Sri Lanka is a team that will score 9 in return for 600 or something worse, and then out of nowhere Sri Lanka just come and beat South Africa 2-0. Yes, it's 2-0, but the victory is still a victory regardless of how it comes. So maybe the South Africans got a little bit complacent, but or maybe it was just the start of a slump for the South Africans whose 2019 was just damn bad. They've ended it well, so hopefully it's a good transition to 2020. But it was not something that the South Africans. It's not a great moment in South African history, especially beaten by South Africa. Had it been India or Pakistan, they would have taken it as a fair blow. They'd be like, yeah, it's cool. But Sri Lanka, so they would have to really wonder about it. 7th one, this should probably be higher on the list, but the other two moments that I have up there are quite good, so I had to put this at 7. This was Steve Smith returning from his ban, and he scored 776 runs in 8 innings. I think, yeah, he missed that Manchester test. So maybe 7 or 8 innings, 700 runs in 7 innings. You are averaging about, I mean, do the normal math, you're going 120 per inning. So that's like, damn, that's a lot of runs you're scoring. 110, 120. No, ignore the maths. It's just the volume of runs he scored. I mean, 7 innings, 720 is still a lot. And for this guy to just show up, I mean, that previous Ashes where he went 2015 was it when he went to England, he just got at 1-2-1. I mean, the two matches that Australia did win on the tour were both because of split centuries. One was a 200 at Lords and the other one was a 100 at Oval. So he's shown that he can play at England, but he comes in and he's scoring 100 after 100 after 100. Man, and the other guy who comes back from a ban, the other two people can't even make head or tail. Bancroft doesn't know which way the ball is swinging. Warner can't play broad. He's just, so Warner's made up for it, but Bancroft, bye-bye. I think ball tampering is the biggest thing you'll ever have on your career, so cheers about that, mate. But Steve Smith, damn, just comes in and now he's back in his run scoring best. And Sir Don Smith, apparently now that's officially, so he's definitely going to be knighted. There's no doubt about that. It's just how quickly is he gonna get knighted with. My sixth moment is this happened yesterday actually. Strikers losing on New Year's Eve. The only tournament that I can truly say that I've been watching for a long time is the Big Bash. I've been watching it since it got going, and I even watched the Ryobi Cup before it. I started watching the Ryobi Cup when the last season ended or whatnot. And then I've always seen the Strikers win on New Year's Eve. It's almost like a tradition now. It's not necessarily the tradition that they play on it. It's the fact they win, and some of the victories they pull off is just from jaws of defeat. Like the 1-2 years back where they got McCullum's Brisbane Heat for 91. That was something you should have won, and they did win it. But like there was other stuff like Travis Head's iconic century. That's the only one Adelaide Strikers fans remember when they think of New Year's Eve, hitting Sean Abbott over mid-wicket for 6, and he jumped over that bouncer and hit it for 6 as well. I mean, I make it seem like he's Ronaldo, but we can kind of go with the analogy for a moment. And then there have been a couple of Billy Stanlake's arrival. Michael Klinger for the first time on New Year's Eve, he scored 100. He took his team home off the last wicket. They've had 2 overs left, but he still took it on the last wicket, which is never easy. So it's always, and for them to go lose, and yesterday was also damn close. I think had Rashid Khan not lost his bat there, or if had he not timed it so well, I think it was a game Strikers should have won. But I think they're gonna be fine with it. But it's tradition, and I didn't quite. It's not particularly a favorite moment up there, but I just want to say that tradition being broken. Hopefully, Strikers will not cancel the New Year's Eve because they lost once. I don't think they will, but hopefully they don't. My fifth moment is another wonderful. I wouldn't say it's a wonderful. It wasn't wonderful for Shane Watson, but it was a very again patriotism for Chennai Super Kings to say. That guy apparently fell down during the last innings of the Mumbai innings. Mumbai batted first in the finals, and apparently he didn't do anything about it. And it wasn't a severe injury, but because CSK play on one of the brightest colors out there after Rajasthan Royals, which is yellow. Rajasthan Royals is pink. I'm gonna say pink is brighter than yellow, but I think yellow should be brighter. But you could see that blood clotting on his pant, and he said. I didn't want to tell Dhoni because Dhoni would say sit me out, and I didn't want to do it. I felt I had to give to the team that's given me so much. And I'm like, mate, had this been RCB or RR, I'm pretty sure you would have said you would have sat out. That's the power Chennai Super Kings gives you, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And to be fair, I didn't pick up on it until it was the next day. I mean, to be fair, the cameras never positioned from the leg stump angle, and many people claim that was the reason he was out for the second run. I don't know why, but a lot of things, I mean, a couple or 3 of those actually feature two going for the second run out. So I don't know, second is maybe it's been the time for second run outs this time. My fourth event on here, give me a second, is that Stokes miracle at Headingley. Not necessarily that, like I always say, the top moments need not be the ones that I get in there. Here is the one that I really like the most is Lion chat missed everything. Every time he chats, he makes sure his actions take up for his words. This time he completely muffed it up. He lost the run out, but still kept chatting. He lost it, but they retained the Ashes, so I still guess that's a win for Lion, so he can keep talking. He's not lost bragging rights. Number 3 is another one for the Big Bash, but it's not this year's Big Bash, but the Big Bash of the year that went by, whatever that is. I don't remember the season number. It was the finals. Melbourne Stars. I think that's enough. 7 for 11. Mate, you're chasing 130. Okay, to begin with, they should never got to 130. I think they should have stayed at 110. But the fact they go to 130 and then to cruise along at, I think they were at 80 at the end of 9-10 overs or something. You lose 7 for 11 and bundle out for 120. And Renegades were in such a good team. Remember, Renegades' only good overseas player last year was Gurney. I don't think even Nabi had left by that time, so they went with one overseas player, and Gurney is not that great, and it wasn't a slowish deck as well. The Marvel Stadium is not that slow, but Marvel or Etihad, I think it's the Etihad. I think they're both the same, not very sure, but yeah. What about the indoor stadium? So second one is India's series win in Australia. I mean, Indians, you go overseas, the only thing you're expecting is a 4-0 loss. Albeit this time that they did go, every series was hyped up with a series victory. It happened in South Africa, we didn't get through. We got 2-1. We went to England, we lost 4-1. Despite how shitty England were and how good we were for most parts, they just won the key sessions, they took it 4-1. So now, albeit we come back to, we go to Australia, and it's now like all the same story. We'll just hype it up and then we'll lose. And the Australians hyped it up even more than us. You could see, if you follow the Australian feed, everything was how do you get Kohli, or look at Kohli batting. Kohli is middling everything, and Kohli didn't have too much of an impact in the series. It was all Pujara and the fast bowlers. And India won it 2-1. We should have won it 3-1, Sydney, but rain plays its part. I think but the Australians did take it in a very fair way. I don't think. Because if had it been the previous Australian team, they would have made some excuses, being like, see, for the first three tests, there were no rain, so we couldn't play, or they just made some random stuff. We had the big bash or some random things. You have to. If there's one thing you can learn from the Australians, to make excuses. Like, you need proper excuses. Now I'm not talking like the dog ate my homework kind of excuses. They have top notch proper excuses. You got to learn how to make excuses from them. And the last one being is you would be guessing it's England winning on boundary count. There is like, look, it's overdone. I'm not even going to talk too much about it. It's really overdone. I don't want to put my opinion on this further. I mean, it's a weird rule. It's those grey areas, and it's not what makes cricket interesting. I mean, to have a game that was so interesting, I think it was 11:30, 12 here. It was 12 when they went to the super over. So to stay up till 12 from 3 o'clock and then put off your things and then you hold on to it, and then for England to win about it. Look, I wasn't disappointed. Had it not been New Zealand, I would not have been disappointed. Had it been any other team apart from New Zealand, I would not have been disappointed. Even if it was Afghanistan, I would not bother. But it's the fact it's New Zealand, it's the nice guys, and it's the nice guys who always get beaten up. It's not, look, philosophically it's not great, but again, it's not great for the game as well. And the funny thing is, Stokes has won it for England. I don't think the New Zealand personality of the year has come out, and Stokes might win it there as well, which might be the only positive to take back from it. People will always grow from these experiences. There's not much you can say. Anyway, guys, it's the end of the holidays. That's how generally do it. But it's wishing you a very happy New Year, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully, I still have to do the RCB video, but you guys will get it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, don't forget to see you next time. See ya.